And you all are now in your chambers and have a moment to talk.
About you guys, but I kind of want to talk to the guy they're holding down in the cellar chamber.
You have fun with that. I'm gonna check on my old chapel.
Miles, don't you understand? All these things keep happening, and we're separate. We actually have to do things together for once, you turd.
I don't think that. I don't think that there's any benefit to that.
You too.
I walk away from Harbo.
Let him do what he wants and he'll get himself into trouble.
But it'd be a lot easier if we had each other together. So
It
we
would
could
be a lot
solve-
harder for me. Having you in my business is difficult enough.
Maybe if you would stop worrying about your churches, you'd be of more assistance.
I almost strike Winslow, but then I point out to him that church, the great beyond, is all that we should endeavor to make real for ourselves. How can you live if you don't give of yourself to the future, to the creator, to the great egg that made everything? Like, what are you living
Your
for if
great
not the
egg
great
has
egg?
done.
I slap Harbo.
Oh, Harbo, what
And
do
then
you
I
do?
leave.
Fight!
Turned into a bear.
I've
Oh,
already left.
that doesn't mean she can't chase you.
It's true.
I can
Go!
outrun a
Turned
bear.
into a bear anyway, but I am a bear.
Ooh.
Let's see. So nope, that's spirit suddenly in wild shape.
Roll a hit if you're about to get him.
Fight!
Is there? I'm gonna say I bust through the door to get to Miles. What do I roll?
Rolled a hit. So whatever. So you would need the character sheet up for the bear, and then you would just roll it that way. Yeah.
Brown bear, brown bear. What do I see?
A Miles.
Ah, yes, that's right. I use my claws. Oh,
Say 20 hit you?
Just
Miles?
barely.
Okay. Well, do the damage on that.
wee. Let's see.
Actually, I wonder if I have a reaction. No, I don't think so.
You
I
get
haven't
clawed.
actually fought in a while. 2d6 plus 4.
Take 15 damage.
Okay.
And as you just get whacked by this fucking bear claw, what do you do, Miles?
I mean, obviously I'm going to retaliate. Is this a spell I can dispel?
I don't think so, since it's wild shape. It's not
Okay.
It's
necessarily
not a spell.
Yeah.
I am going to inflict wounds.
Uh-huh.
At the 3rd level.
Oh boy. Oh dear God.
Oh god.
Alright, does a 22 hit?
Does it hit the bear or does it hit Haribo? Which are
The
you
bear.
thinking?
It'd be the bear
How
since
about-
you're still a bear.
It hits the bear.
Alright, and you take that 34 damage.
Okay.
Alright, what do you do, Harbo?
I just roar at him and then walk away.
Are you still in bear form? Does that not...
Yeah, I'm bear form.
That... wow, you have a lot of hit points.
Yeah, man.
Right.
True.
It's fine. I'm sure the next one that I've gotten you. And I walk the other way.
Alright.
Yeah, I could have struck twice. Oh
Oh,
well.
well.
You decided to roar.
That's true. Oh well. I haven't fought in a while. Nor with Bear.
Look, this has definitely put a damper on our relationship. I don't think it has improved it any.
That's because you slapped me.
You had it coming. You insulted the great egg. You insulted a man's religion.
Well.
And at this point, Miles, you go down to where your church was and you realize everything is packed up and it's now just a storage room and it's no longer a place of worship.
Uh-huh. Is the basement still? Because it would have been a hidden basement, so
Yeah.
is that
So you
still
realize
around?
they have discovered it
Ah, well,
and they
that's
have
not...
cleared everything out.
You'd think that Harold wouldn't be so happy to see us then.
And yeah, you guys
Is
then
the,
have the rest of the day to kind of do whatever.
is the packaged up stuff, is the stored stuff anything of interest? I rifled
No.
through it.
It's just old clothing and nothing of real importance.
Super lame.
Yep. And as you guys are just kind of wandering about and in your chambers and whatnot, you may see Saris every now and then, or Harold as well, and they're just kind of walking the grounds and just enjoying their life.
I put out some inquiries with some people that I might know still, various contacts. Like, I'm sure, are the people from the what is that one bar, the Twisted Thorn? Are they still they're disbanded as far as I know, but they should still exist to some extent, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and ask her about those from guards and try and
Okay.
reach out to them.
All right. And Winslow and Harbo, what are you doing?
Perhaps we should talk with the one guy you wanted to earlier, Harbo.
I'm no longer in bear form and I have a few cuts. That sounds like a good idea. So, we are entering going downstairs to the chamber
Okay.
where he's being held, or the cell where he's being held.
But as you go downstairs, you just see it's a normal basement, and you see some guards standing there, and maybe you inquire about the dungeon, and they're like, "Why are you needing to find it?"
We were wondering if we could speak to the guy who supposedly pushed Princess Gilly off of the roof of the castle.
He no longer can speak, nor does he get visitors.
Oh.
He
Well,
lost his tongue 6 years ago,
Okay.
when
Do
he
you
was still
have-
trying to plead his innocence.
Do you have any court records as to that trial case?
Not to the general public.
But you see, we are not the general public. We were the guards that were on duty that night. That
We are the criminals.
apparently went missing.
Mm-hmm. Again, I am not allowed to give those documents out, nor do I have them. Those are at the royal court in Florentine.
Okay. Do you know who we would have to see then to get these permissions?
Probably the king. He's kept them sealed.
Ugh.
Not just that, you would also then have to get approval from Harold, the king, and then hopefully, I believe, the first sergeant and captain of the guard.
Well, alright.
Wait, the king isn't enough? Holy moly.
It's not.
Well, Winslow, it looks like we're at a stalemate once again.
It does seem to be that way. Should we talk to the king or do we go find Miles?
Well, my My gut says talk to the king. But my head says find Miles. Yeah. Both sound disgusting. Do you think Lady Cyrus would know anything?
Perhaps we can try talking with her.
Okay.
And you guys end up see her just kind of roaming about in the castle currently, just kind of perusing around, and you guys run into her.
Jitters.
Hello, Lady Cyrus. Long time no see.
I'm sorry, have we ever met?
Just very briefly in passing a few different times. My name is Haribo. I was a former guard of your betrothed.
Yes, and you're invited to the wedding, I see.
Yes, does that not please and sparkle with you?
You were a good guard then, if you're here. None of his other guards are here for the wedding. It's just family and a few other royals. But it's good that you guys were so impactful on his life.
Harold did think quite fondly of us, and the adventures we did have, he was very good at what he did. Also having quite the impact on us as well. Speaking of his lordship, though, and I kind of make a face that I don't like using, like, I'm trying to think of my words really carefully for once.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
And
so, we've learned, I guess, really the tragic story of Princess Gilly. We unfortunately, I guess, have been not privy to this information before. Do you know anything about that?
that it was a tragedy. Yes.
Well, I
Other
guess,
than that, I don't ask questions. I wasn't fully involved in the guard at that time. I was more so just a sparring partner with Prince Harold. But I remember him going through it, and he had a very hard time focusing on his studies.
well,
Other than that,
human.
I did not try to intervene, for that was not my job at the time. Now it is, but at the time it was not. I was a young girl at that time.
Well, I guess, Lady Cyrus, do you know of anyone who would know anything about that?
Not that you've probably already heard from Harold.
Yeah.
He pretty much told you the story from what he told me. So they try not to talk about it as it just angers all of them. And anytime they feel angry, they take it out on that poor man in the chamber.
Yeah. I heard that he lost his tongue 6 years ago. Did he
Mhm.
say anything maybe before that?
That he
About
was
why he did
innocent.
it?
He says he never did it. It was his whole thing. He never claimed he did it, but you're literally standing right there on the roof that she fell from. You're kind of caught with a gun in your hand, sir.
You know
Wow,
who
they have
found him
guns.
on the roof?
Hmm?
You know who found him on the roof?
The people that found her body.
And who were they?
Well, I know Brennan was a part of the group that found it, and the captain guard, and Brennan's mother. All
You
three
guys-
of them had gone into the viewing room where the Duke normally made his announcements, I guess, and saw the guard dead that normally blocked the door. And so they then heard some shouting from upstairs, but couldn't get up to the roof because the additional latch door, I guess, was closed. And so they ran down and they watched her body fall. And she died on impact.
Thank you for sharing with us, Lady Saris. I have one more question for you, and then I will leave you be, because I can only imagine how hard this is on you as well. Shit, I forgot what I was going to ask. Let's see. Do you have any, I guess, contact, or have you communicated with Duke Luke Brennan
No,
anymore? Or
he's
his
still
mother?
single. And his mother is still ruling his life like no other since that night. She's kept him under lock and key, and she threw many a woman at him, and he said no to all of them.
Well, do you communicate with any of them anymore? I mean,
No.
okay.
They've pretty much secluded themselves, and I heard they bought another island to start building their own town as they're trying to get independent from everything here.
Okay. Thank you, Lady Saris. That was a lot of help.
I try. Dinner's being served. You should get ready.
That sounds delicious. Thank you, lady.
And you all hear the dinner bells ring. Miles, do you go?
Yes, probably after I've finished writing letters and having them sent.
Okay.
They're all about asking about, like, Ginger specifically, actually.
Alright. Alright, and you all wake up the next morning, unless you guys go on your nightly Gallivant.
And no.
Alright. And you all wake up and get ready to go to the wedding.
Oh wow, my bear wounds have healed.
Yep. And you all go into the wedding, which is held in Princess Gilly's garden.
Wow.
And it's a beautiful ceremony, and as you're sitting down, you see a bunch of royal family members. The king and queen are there, and you all kind of sit in the back just out of respect as there's assigned seating. And there's 3 empty chairs with no names on them, so you all just kind of weasel in and grab those.
How
And
convenient.
right as the end of the ceremony is stated and you all see them kiss, all of your guys' vision kind of just goes white and twinkly. And then you hear just a thud. And it's cold outside. And
Oh no.
you just hear this thud and then silence. And as you guys open your eyes, you see the body of Gilly laying there on the ground. Do you guys look up?
Yeah, why not?
And as you look up, you see Zeminiar standing on the roof
I guess dispel magic.
with a look of horror on his face. And that is where we end tonight's session.
Okay,
God
good.
dang it.